Good morning, everybody. I'm Chaplain Daniel. I'm Rabbi Daniel. Today, I'm in a capacity this morning of being a chaplain. Today, I'm going to be a chaplain. So, I flip and wear different hats, of course. So that's why the background is a little strange because I'm going to be in the capacity today of being a chaplain. Anyways, today I'm talking about, I'll be talking about Exodus 22:13, verse 13 through 14. And it reads as follows: If a man shall borrow from his fellow, and it shall become broken, or it shall die, provided its owner is not with him, he shall surely make restitution. If its owner is with him, he shall not make restitution. Okay? If he was a renter, it came in return for his rental. So what the scripture is laying out three concepts, and those three concepts is what I'm going to talk about here. Okay, so the first one is if you borrow from somebody and then you need to take responsibility for what you borrowed. Okay, there is no way to show if you were negligent and with the item that you borrowed or whether it broke on its own. Therefore, be cautious of any items that you borrowed, so that when you return it, do so in the shape that it came in or in a better shape, okay? In other words, if you borrow something, say a car, it is common custom to wash it and to clean it up from the inside and to make sure that you fill the vehicle with a full tank of gas, correct? Okay. After all, you're using a small portion of its overall value. You should make some compensation for that. We do that through the rental pay itself and through the contractual agreement to take good care of the vehicle. Therefore, if you break it or it is an animal and it dies under your charge, then you should compensate appropriately for it. Okay. Second, now if you're the owner, okay, now if the owner is right there, if the owner is right there and sees that it becomes broken or that the animal dies, then technically the owner still has charge over that item. The owner is standing right there, okay? So the owner should not be lending out an item that he knows would break once the borrower takes possession, because then that's a form of theft. That's a form of deception. The owner should not lend out an animal with knowledge that the animal was sick or injured and is not expected to live for much longer. Because if the animal dies, then the owner is trying to deceive and take benefit of the money. And that's shady dealings. So this is shady dealings, and it is unrighteous for the people of God to act in such a manner. The third point of this scripture is, now, if it is not borrowed but rented, that changes the whole perspective. The owner is making money, and therefore the item is their responsibility. It is incumbent on the owner to take the portion of money that they are collecting for the rental and set it aside a portion of the money in order to cover any losses of breakage. Okay, we see this in property. It is a renter's responsibility to take care of the plumbing and electrical repairs, to name a few. Okay. Since this only improve his overall property, and they are taking money from the renter for such items. However, it is important to note that the rentee still has the responsibilities, okay? One cannot rent a house and trash the inside and expect to just walk away. That is irresponsible and does not reflect well on the people of God. At the same time, if you rent an animal and refuse to feed it, then you are at fault for neglecting the animal. Okay? So the wisdom in this verse is to teach us to do our due diligence while borrowing or renting items or animals. It also teaches us to set aside some money if you rent out or you rent items or animals. It is wise to have insurance to cover your property, and it only takes the time and has the insurance on the property. It will lessen the cost of any loss or breakage. Okay, now this is why in business it is so important to have insurance, to make sure you have insurance. We went through that scripture. We went through some perspectives on that scripture, okay? It's important to make a plan in case when you're renting out your property, whether it's a house, whether it's a vehicle, whether it's even livestock, anything that you're renting out, renting out horses for people to ride in a beautiful, coastal line or something like that to enjoy their time. It's very important to take care of this property and to put insurance on this property because you don't necessarily know what's going to happen. Do your due diligence in business. Make sure you set up your insurance in business. That will provide that you are taken care of in case of the unexpected events. Insurance is very important, and there's different types of insurance. There is whole insurance in America here, and what I'm talking about applies in America. In different countries, there's different systems on how things are set up. But I'm talking about in America, North America, specifically United States. You have insurance. You put insurance on the business. That's why there's so many different types of insurance. There's health insurance. There's property insurance. There's mortgage insurance for properties. There's life insurance on the person. It is so important to get and to make sure you do your due diligence and make sure you put insurance on those things because you don't know what's going to happen. Anything could happen. You want insurance on your property in case natural disasters happen. You want insurance on your property, on your individual self in case accidents come about. You want insurance on your vehicle in case your vehicles get in a car accident and there's a lot of liabilities that have to be paid out, okay? Because restitution and compensation is part of the business's responsibility. So this is financial wisdom, biblical wisdom related to financial scenarios. And so I'm teaching people how to become business owners and how to do things proper business. So it's very important to learn insurance as much as you can, just as long as it's very important to learn taxation. So here in this scripture, it's basically you need to be learning your insurance and keep your insurance. So in case you have to make restitution, you have a plan to make those restitutions in case something goes bad. So again, the scripture is Exodus 22, verse 13 through 14, and it says again, if a man shall borrow from his fellow, and it shall become broken or shall die, provided its owner is not with him, he shall surely make restitution. If its owner is with him, he shall not make restitution. If he was a renter, it came in return for his rental. Okay, so with that, I hope that you go out, you try to make some business, you learn how to make some business, because when you make business, you make other people, you put other people, you employ other people. Like my father said, I never got a job from a poor man. You get a job from those that are trying to create wealth, okay? So you create wealth by creating value for others. So it's important to go out, do your business, do your jobs, do your work, make value, but also protect yourself. Get some insurance on all the things you need to get your insurance and get your financial counseling and do your due diligence to make sure you understand what's going on with those insurance policies that you have in place for whatever you need the insurance for. With that, I pray that you have a blessed and wonderful day. And it's almost Sabbath here. Today's Thursday morning, so shortly after it'll be Sabbath. So everybody have a blessed weekend and a wonderful day today. Thank you, and bye.